Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and I'm here with the second part from that process video that I did yesterday. So I had done a whole mixed media page, and then I had cut out circles, and I had a bunch of circles left. And that mixed media background took me long enough that I was like, I don't want to put that thing down. And then um, it just gets shuffled with my stuff, and I don't get to use it. So I had another picture of a palm tree, and it was from the same trip, I think, or I think it was, yeah, it was the same trip, but I can't remember if yesterday if I said it was Las Vegas or it was New Orleans, Houston. This is actually New Orleans, Houston. We had gone to Houston and then we drove to New Orleans, and I had a couple of pictures that I want to um, scrap about palm trees. Now, a lot of these are just half circles, but it works out perfect because I can just stick them on the background. Now, at first, I had cut down a piece of cardstock, which was about, I'd say, 10 inches, 9 inches of black cardstock, and I was going to put it on orange cardstock, but to me, it was just, I don't know, it was just too orangey. And then when I put it next to the other layout, I found that the yellow really brought it out and I really liked it. I want to add a little bit of orange, so again, I go to my scraps from the previous layout. So the last two layouts, all I've been using is scraps. And I love that. I love using scraps and getting more layouts done. One of the reasons that I started scrapping with kits or making my own kits is I could not stand doing a page and using a little bit of the pattern paper and then you put it in your stash. And then you end up with drawers and drawers or, containers full of scraps. To me, that is such a waste. But by doing kits and or using collections or, being part of a kit club or whatever the case may be, at least I use up everything right to the last bit. And then when I'm done with that and all I have left is little scraps, I don't mind chucking that out or making a page with just little scraps. And you get the most of your pattern papers. Yes, a pattern paper is $1, but you add $1 plus $1 plus, it ends up being quite a bit. So, let's get the most out of our papers and stuff. And again, here I'm still at my scrapbooking weekend away, and I ended up getting 10 pages done that weekend. I can't remember what page this is, but I still have a few to share with you. And this was Saturday morning, so the setup is a little different, but I'm really pleased with the way all the videos came out. It was only the first one that was a little close up, and then I realized that I was too close, so then I was able to kind of rectify that in the rest. But I was kind of happy with the lighting and everything. It's not as good as when I'm at home, but it was pretty good for being away. So now I'm taking some Distress ink in orange, and I'm just inking the edges of everything, and then I'm going to put this thing together. Now, the last layout took me almost 2 hours, and it's because it took me, forever to do that background. And I know that mixed media layouts do take a little longer. And I had someone comment that they said that they usually put gesso or something even on watercolor paper, and so do I. I just didn't have my clear gesso with me. I really tried to bring the minimum that I could bring with me. So I just brought one type of gesso, and it was my thick gesso. I do have some clear gesso that is really thin and it's really easy to spread out. And I usually put that on my watercolor paper because if you have some kind of medium like that, like gesso on your background, your other mediums will spread out a whole lot faster. But again, I was working on or working with minimum supplies and trying to kind of make do with what I had. I was really impressed by the amount of stuff that I actually brought with me. It was very minimal. I didn't bring any like extra pattern papers, or I brought a stack of cardstock because with my page kits that I made, most of them I didn't put cardstock in it. So I just grab, you know, some white, some black, and a little bit of cardstock that way. And to use to mount the photos, and kind of, I like to put cardstock also in the background to kind of start my layouts. But this 2 pages, the last one and this one, wasn't from a page kit. It was actually just still scraps that I had from my last crop that I went to, which was Crop and Create back in April. And from those page kits, you know, whatever leftover I had put them all in a big baggie. And like I said, I hate wasting pattern paper. I just find it's such a waste. So I am putting them in those baggies, and I'm making sure that I'm keeping them close, and I'm going to use them up, you know, fairly soon. I don't want to put them away because then I know, you know, 10 years from now, they'll still be sitting there. Actually, quite a few months ago, I'd say almost a year now, I was clearing up my scrapbook room, and, you know, I had a basket under my desk that had folders, and all these folders had a ton of pattern papers, and that I hadn't even looked at. And for the past 3 years, I've been scrapbooking with kits, so I was using everything up. So I just threw everything out, and I decided to start from scratch, because I'm also packing, right? I'm packing stuff to go in, you know, my new scrap room. So I'm trying to, one, bring less stuff in my room because I don't want to have to pack it up. And 2, I'm trying to use stuff that I already have, and trying to use them up. And pretty soon here, I'm going to have to start using stuff that I am using. So one thing that I did that you're going to see, I'm probably going to haul here very soon, is I decided to try click kits. So my kit should be coming to me soon. And for the next 3 or 4 months, I'm just going to do it probably for 3 or 4 months. We'll see. I'm going to be trying out the click kits because I want to pack everything else in my room except the tools that I need to do these pages. And then I'll use whatever's in that kit. And then I can put everything, I can pack everything else away, because time is flying. Today is June 12th. And so I'm thinking that before we know it, it'll be time to move into our new house, which I can't wait. They just broke ground 3 days ago. And so they did the footing, it's called. And I'm sure next week I'll do a page and kind of show you, you know, where we're at. And I've been taking a ton of pictures, and it's exciting. It's exhausting. We have so many decisions to make. And I know that a lot of people say that, you know, once they built, they'll never do it again because it's so difficult, or, you know, so many decisions and so many things to do. But for us, we know we don't plan on building again. This is our retirement home. So we don't mind. It's exciting, it's fun, but it's still exhausting. And we have a ton of decisions to make. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to upload at least 2 videos a week. This week, I uploaded one yesterday and one today. So they might be back to back. It's kind of all over the place this summer. But hopefully I can do the 2 a week and kind of, you know, stay in touch that way. And they think that our house will be done at the end of August, beginning of September, and then, you know, moving and everything. So I'm hoping to get pages done ahead. I'm so glad that I went on this scrapbooking weekend, because I was able to do enough for, you know, 6 weeks worth of pages so that I can get other stuff done, like packing. So again, this is going to be a companion page to the other layout. So I mounted the photo on some yellow cardstock and then remounted it on some pattern papers. I'm putting out my circles, outlining them with my gel pen. And then at the top and the bottom of the layout, I cut 2 little strips of maybe about 1 inch. and put at the top and the bottom of the layout. If I would have had some washi tape, my black washi tape, I probably would have put that also, or some other kind of washi tape, but like I said, what I brought with me was very minimal. Now I'm looking at some enamel dots that I got ready earlier on that day. They're already dried. All I had time to do was that other layout. I probably had lunch in between that and then this layout. And I'm talking to some other people, and she had passed me over sort of a pom-pom looking thing. And so we, and two, that I think this is pretty good, 50 minutes for a layout, because believe me, I like to chat. And we talked a lot about books that weekend, right, Marsha? Marsha was sitting a few seats away from me, and we talked a lot about reading and books. And I had just finished a rotation, so I went to bed early every night because I had just come off, 4 night shifts. So I don't like to stay up late. I was in bed by 9:30, 10 o'clock. I would read a little bit, and then off to bed I would go. But it was so fun. My next scrapbooking weekend is going to be in October, and it's going to be in Quispamsis, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away from here, an hour from here. And it's my friend Evelyn that's putting it together. So I'm going to be going to that, so I can't wait for that weekend to come. And so that's going to be my next one. But this one here was a lot of fun too. There's one in September, but I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to be right in the middle of moving, so I probably won't be able to go to that one. But I'm going to go to the one in October. And again, I'm using some scraps from previous layout, and also some stickers that I didn't get to use in other layouts. And I'm using a flamingo, and I mean, what better place to put a flamingo than with palm trees, right? And then I'm using some stickers that I didn't get to use in the other layout. I guess that's not a chipboard sticker, it's just a die cut. I did use a chipboard frame. And it says, "Tonight I will fall asleep with you in my heart." And boys, do I love palm trees. I wish I could go where there's palm trees all the time. I know I was meant to be born somewhere hot because I don't like the cold. But anyway, that's it. That's going to complete this layout. And if you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.